What's going on everybody? This is Jay from Mpie and Jay, and today I got here the review video of the Mpie G7, which I got from cooleycool.com for $147. And I gotta say that for the price, this device is absolutely phenomenal. It has too many great specs for it to be ignored. To get started, this comes with 2 GB of RAM, it has 8 GB of internal storage, it comes with a fingerprint scanner. On the front here, we can see the operating system is going to be the Android 4.4.2 KitKat, and yes, it is real. It comes with an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera, the LED flash, as we can notice right here. We have the Mpie logo. It's even 4G LTE for some countries. Here in the USA, this is going to support 3G with T-Mobile and AT&T. The loudspeaker is absolutely phenomenal, and the overall construction of it feels very nice in your hand, and it is very solid. When you squeeze it, it doesn't feel cheap, and it doesn't feel like it's going to break on your hand. If you look here on the top, you have the 3.5mm headphone jack together with the charging/data port. On the bottom, we're just going to have the microphone. On the left, the volume rockers. And we can see here the power button, which is working perfectly well. Now, the only downside of this phone is that on the top, you don't have a notification LED, but we do have a 2 megapixel front-facing camera with the ear speaker. Right at the bottom, we can see we have the menu key, the home key, and also the back key. If you look on the back, you're going to see that the battery is going to be a 2200 milliamp battery, which in my opinion is absolutely outstanding for this device, because this is running the MTK6582. It is clocked at 1.3 gigahertz, and yes, it is a quad-core processor. It is a single SIM, single standby device, also supports TF cards up to 64 gigabytes. Now, the only downside here is that, as you guys can see, it doesn't support micro SIM. I managed to put this on there, but you're not supposed to. You can get this damage. It is only supporting the big regular SIM card, and that's the, like I said before, that's the only downside, because we know that many devices nowadays come with a micro size and not the regular SIM size. We can also see here the speaker hardware. It looks very nice and solid, and the device all the way around has a lot of screws. And we can see here we have the LTE antennas, we have the GPS, the Wi-Fi, and at the bottom we're going to have the 3G antennas as well. Now again, the speaker is very nice. We can even see here that it does say 3D sound. On the front here, we can see the lock screen already has my fingerprint recorded, and I have recorded pretty much my index finger. When you're grabbing your device like this, the finger that you most likely are going to swipe on the back is going to be your index finger. However, you can record any finger that you wish to do so. We can also see here that on viewing angles, for the most part, this is not going to match with the remaining of the bezel. It's going to look a little bit more like a mirror, which is something that I really don't prefer, but when it's there, at least it doesn't bother me. As of right now, it is okay. Again, this is going to be a QHD display with a resolution of 960 by 540. And we're going to go ahead and swipe my finger back here right now. Guys, I gotta admit, they're quite sweaty, and that's because I'm making reviews. And when I make reviews, sometimes my fingers do get sweaty, and that's going to cause your fingerprint scanner to not read your fingerprint. Now here we can see that I already had YouTube open, and this device performed very well. I've been using it all day at work, and it came here with about 50% of battery charge, the Wi-Fi signal reception, and the signal strength of the service, which you guys can see right here because it has been camouflaged with the background of the wallpaper. It is working very well. And also we can see here that it does come with many Google applications. We have the Play Store, the Gmail, and most of these came already installed. Now the only ones that I installed from the Google Play was YouTube, which is working perfectly well, as you guys saw. Let's go ahead and open it here. We can see that for the most part it is quite fast. Let's go ahead and kill the task, because I know that a lot of people say, okay, well, you had it open, but we're going to open it here from the fresh start, and we're going to see, guys, that this is performing quite well. The device doesn't lag that much. I mean, for a $147, you really can't ask for more. The camera is also outstanding in my opinion. I mean, it's not going to give you that 60 megapixel quality that we see on the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, but like I said before, for the price of this phone, I think it's performing quite well. So let's check it out. Hello, what's going on everybody? This is Jay, and today we are testing the camera of the Mpie G7. This is going to be the 8 megapixel rear camera. And we can see that the colors are a little bit fade off, and also I'm having a lot of issues when it comes to the focus. You have to tap on the screen several times, but the stabilization of it is pretty good, as you guys can notice right here. And for the most part, I mean, the focus works, but like I said before, you have to tap it a few times. That's the only inconvenience. And now we're gonna test the front-facing camera. Alrighty, here we have the 2 megapixel front-facing camera of the Mpie G7. Now, in my personal opinion, I believe that the front-facing camera is pretty good. Even though it's only a 2 megapixel camera, we can see that the quality, the colors, and the focus is pretty nice. This is going to definitely be great for Skype, Uvu, or any other social media that you guys like to use. And also, of course, selfies, which is the most important. Here we can see, guys, that the quality, once again, the colors are super nice. Okay, and there we saw the camera test, and let's go ahead and open here the actual UI of it. We can see that it has this unique style. something that we've never seen before. I mean, it does look slightly bit like the Samsung Galaxy S5 UI or the TouchWiz UI, but for the most part, it's going to be very different. Here we can see that the front-facing camera has a very nice quality, as we saw from the video. And we go here to settings, we go to camera options, we can see that this goes the max up to 8 megapixels. And on the other hand, the front-facing camera, the max quality that we get, even though I think it has been interpolated to be 5 megapixels, this is going to be a real 2 megapixel front-facing camera. Now, I'll be also providing some pictures on the description down below so that you guys can check them out and see the qualities for yourselves. And the next thing we're going to do now is test here the Bluetooth. I just want to keep it simple for you guys. We know that this phone is going to work for the most part very well. Most Chinese non-clone devices do perform very well at a great price. Again, this is only $147. And here we can notice already that this device has paired with another device I think is over there in my kitchen. Let's go ahead and put it on pairing mode. Let's go here to settings, Bluetooth. Let's go ahead and power on and see how fast it does pair. Right now, like I said before, I have it on pairing mode. And there we can see that it has connected. The next thing we're going to do is perform a simple sound test. Let's go here to sounds. Let's go to settings, voice call ringtones. We can see that the reaction time, it is not disappointing. You have powered off right now. This is the back loudspeaker. Now the back speaker, when you're holding the phone, it has this vibration to it. It makes it feel like bass to it, like it vibrates as if it had a little subwoofer on the back, but we know that it doesn't, and I think that has to do with the 3D sound. And it's actually pretty nice and loud. Now, like I said before, the only downside of this phone is going to be the 960 by 540 display. Sometimes when playing videos, which I'm going to show you guys right now, let's say we want to play, for instance, let's say one of my own videos for copyright purposes. And if you tap on here on menu, we can see that we can change the quality. Now the maximum we can go is up to 360p. Now a lot of people has told me before that that's because of the application, and it is not. That's because the app reads the actual resolution of your screen and it's going to give you the max quality that your screen is capable of getting. That's again one of the downsides of this screen, and also we don't have a notification LED light as I mentioned before, and that's another downside because if you have a notification from a message, you won't be able to know until you power on your device. Now something cool about this phone is that it does come with cases and screen protectors, and here we can see the smart flip case that came with it. Now this is also great, like I always mention, because we know that here in the USA accessories are extremely limited. It's almost impossible to get accessories, so when they come with it, it is absolutely great because that way we know that we can protect our devices. And when we close this, we can see that it's going to display the time and the date and also some missed calls. So it's going to be a basic smart flip cover. It's not going to give you anything crazy. You can't answer and decline phone calls from here, but at least it's going to tell you if you're getting a phone call. So all you have to do when you flip it open, it's going to automatically answer your phone call. Now you can turn off that feature on settings if you don't want to your phone to be answering your phone calls by just opening it. You can turn it off and you can just use it to view some of the notifications that you're getting, which is great. Another thing we're going to do here is go ahead and weight the device. This feels very solid in your hand, and like I said before, it is quite heavy, and a lot of that has to do with the battery, and also the build quality of this phone is absolutely phenomenal. And here I have my little weight scale. I believe right now it is on. Let's go ahead and see how many grams this is, and it's going to be about 150 grams. So there we can see, yes guys, that this is a quite heavy device. It is not as heavy as the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which goes for about 220 grams, but at least it's going to feel nice and solid in your hands. Another thing we're going to do now is go ahead and test here some applications and games that I have downloaded, and I'm also going to go through the details of the settings app so that you guys can see how well we're working. So I'm going to be putting music in the background. Make sure you guys enjoy it. Alrighty guys, and there we saw the performance of this device, and as we can see, it is absolutely outstanding. With the MTK6582, it is performing very well. Now the great news is that, again, this is going to have 2 GB of RAM, and they are real. You can download many games, and like I said before, the display, even though it says here on CPU-C that it is a 720p display, that's going to be fake. The resolution is going to be 960 by 540. Another great strength about this phone is going to be the GPS. The GPS works very well. Now, even though I rooted it and installed faster GPS, as you guys can see here, that's not required. I only did it so that I can get a little better signal reception. So check the next footage and let me know what you think. Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Mpie and Jay, and here we have the Mpie G7 GPS test. This GPS works very well. I didn't need to do any type of customizations. Now, if you do want to get faster signal reception on it, I would recommend rooting it anyways and installing faster GPS, so that way you can get a signal reception within seconds. Other than that, it is a well-performing GPS. Alrighty guys, and now that we saw how well the GPS is performing, the next thing we're going to do here is open GPS test so that we can see that even from inside of the house it is working perfectly well. We can already start to see here a signal locking, and again, that's also because I installed faster GPS. You get a faster signal reception. Now it takes about 30 to 40 seconds to completely lock a signal. Sometimes it's a little faster than other times, but for the most part it is working. As you guys can see right now, it just did lock a signal, and it took about 15 to 10 seconds to lock it. We also got the task killer. It's a little bit different. We can see here we have a button on the middle that we can just kill all the tasks instead of just swiping, through each one of them. You can just tap on here and it's going to kill all of them at the same time, which is a great feature. The next thing we're going to test here is going to be the Wi-Fi on the browser. Let's go ahead and open here. Let's say eBay.com. Let's see how fast it's going to load. And as you guys can see, of course, on Wi-Fi, everything's going to load very nicely. And here we also have the quick toggles. As you guys can see, this time you only have them on the top. They don't come on little blocks here on the screen. Now you can also access the settings here from the top, as we can notice. And again, to turn off the Wi-Fi, all we do is tap on this little icon of the Wi-Fi, and now we can see, guys, that we're getting H+ on AT&T, and again, it does support H+ on T-Mobile as well, which is considered 3G. So with that being said, let's go ahead and open here on the browser youtube.com, and let's test it out and see how fast it is. And as you guys can see, it is quite fast. And let's open here another one. Let's say iCool, which I haven't opened yet. The keyboard, it is also very precise. I didn't have any issues whatsoever. And here we can notice, guys, how fast it is. And again, this device is performing, like I said before, I can't stress this enough, it is performing quite well. And here we can see the iCool website. They have great prices and they ship actually very fast. I got this within 5 days. On the dialer, the only thing I noticed is that the ear speaker, like many Chinese devices, is a little bit weak. Now the loudspeaker is working very well. So let's go ahead and dial 611 so that we can check the actual quality of it. It is once again working very well. And here we have the ear speaker. Let's go ahead and put it on loudspeaker now.
For straight talk, press 1.
And now on the other hand, the loudspeaker is quite loud, as I told you guys before. So there we have it for the call test. And again, this is not a disappointing device. It comes with many of accessories. $147. You will get 4G LTE depending on what country you are. You get 2 GB of RAM. Now, even though the internal memory is only 8 GB, you can always upgrade it with a TF card, also known as SD card. That's a simple solution for a lot of people. This is going to support up to 64 GB. Also, we got here the Play Store, which is working very well. So all the Google applications do work. Now, the only thing I can tell you is that sometimes, depending on your carrier or what limits they have, the device can get slow. With Straight Talk, I only have about 3 GB of data versus T-Mobile is completely unlimited. So when this device gets slow, it's really going to be slow. So have that in mind, guys. But other than that, it is a great performing device. If you do have any questions, please don't forget to comment down below. Please like the video, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.